This is the Therapy Shawl, and this is a quick video to show you how to do the little Picot edge that's happening right up here on the side, okay? It's pretty easy to execute, but there's a couple different ways you can do it, so I wanted to make sure you knew all of them. So it's pretty easy. You're just going to cast on 2 and then bind off 2 immediately. Okay, now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can, casting on the edge of a row is usually pretty easy. You can do the backwards loop method like this, where you just cast on 1 and cast on 2, just like this, okay? Now, that is kind of, I'm spinning my finger and being all fancy, but really all you're doing is you're taking your yarn and you're twisting it, and then you're kind of putting it over the loop like that so it gets caught, and then you kind of tug it just like that to make it stay, okay? So that's the backwards loop method. So you can do that one. Now I find the backwards loop, when you pull on one stitch, it makes the other one tighter. So I prefer to do a knit on cast on. So I'm going to go ahead and go like I'm going to knit, just like this. But instead of slipping this one off, instead I am going to go underneath this stitch with this needle and put that stitch from my right needle onto my left. So I've just added 1. So now I'm going to knit this one. So now I have a loop on my right needle. So I'm just going to put it over on the left needle like that, okay? So that's how I prefer to do those 2 cast-ons. So now we're going to bind off 2. Now a lot of people might get confused on this because I'm going to knit this first one. I have not bound anything off yet, okay? I have to knit 2 in order to bind off. So there's number 1, okay? So I've got 2 stitches. Here's bind off 1. The act of pulling it off the needle tip, that's 1. So I need 1 more. I'm going to go ahead and knit this one now, and then pull this one over the top, and that is number 2. Now the next thing it says is to knit 2 together. I'm on the eyelet section, so it's a knit 2 together, yarn over. So now I'll go right into my knit 2 together, yarn over, and I'll do 1 more knit 2 together, and then we'll take a look at this bobble. So even though you're casting on 2 stitches, you do need a 3rd stitch involved in order to create that little picot. So you can see now at the end we have this little bump of yarn that's sticking out, and it matches his little brother down here, and that's what's going to give us that really pretty picot edge on this therapy shawl.